Hello everybody, this is my PWG 100 review. I meant to do 99, but I didn't get 99 because on this piece of paper I got with the DVDs I ordered from ROHWrestling.com. That's right, PWG's on ROH Wrestling. I recommend you go get some stuff from there. Unfortunately, we've sold out of the following item, PWG 99 DVD. The cost of the item was refunded to G-Card, and we apologize for the inconvenience. It was an inconvenience, and I'm angry because I got my money back. The show started off with the Young Bucks versus the Cutler brothers. I haven't seen much of the Cutler brothers before. It was for the PWG Tag Team titles. At the very start of the match, it was a collar and elbow type. I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was another wrestler or someone in attendance. But they said, "There you go, baby. Show them how it's done." And it was just one of those statements where I just went, has this person never watched wrestling? Having said that, there was a lot of good wrestling in this, a lot of good double teams by both the Jacksons and the Cutlers. There was a head bonk in the match, which always gets 2 thumbs up from me. There was a 4 count in the match. There was like a 4 count in a lot of the matches on the show, actually. Where they count 1 and the person didn't hear it or something. Or maybe it's just me. This match was a really good opener, 3.5 stars. The next match was Scott Loss versus Roderick Strong. There was a moment in the match where Scott Loss was thrown into the chairs where the people were sitting, but they'd scattered away, and he was thrown into them. And it felt like an eternity for him to get out of the chairs. I'm sitting there watching, and it's like, all right, you've been in the chairs enough. It was probably no more than like 10 or 15 seconds because he was tangled in them, but it just felt like it went on forever. I mean, it's no criticism. It's just, it was just strange to me. I don't know. It's something that stuck out in my head, so yeah, there's that. And here's the problem I have with a lot of indie wrestling, or not just indie wrestling, I should say, but a lot of wrestling, at least in North America, they have they work over a body part or something in a match, yet it plays no actual factor in the final result of the match. Like they worked over the ribs, and it didn't play any part of the actual match. But that kind of thing's actually worse in major promotions in the US than it is on some of the indies. So, yeah, 3 stars for that. It was a good match despite those flaws, but it was pretty standard, having said that. Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega. This was a really, really fun match. There was a lot of really good comedy spots in it. There was a moment where Kenny Omega was getting his arm worked over by Bryan Danielson, so he took his elbow pad off and put it on that arm. And Bryan Danielson worked over it more. He took his knee pad off and put it over that arm. Bryan Danielson tried to work over it some more, and it didn't work. There was a few tests of strength between the two, and then they'd run out of them because they'd done most of them. And some fan yelled out Rochambeau, and Bryan Danielson turned to him and said, "How's that a test of strength?" There was lots of singing and dancing, and the chemistry between these two was really good. But once the match got serious, Kenny Omega just got destroyed by Bryan Danielson, which was a fair enough result. But I just would like to have seen a good a lengthy match between the two because they're both really good wrestlers and they had really good chemistry. But 2.5 stars, which really doesn't do the match a credit, because it was a lot more entertaining than a 2.5 star match, elsewhere. It's just from a more technical aspect, I guess that's what I'd give it. Paul London versus Joey Ryan. Paul London didn't seem all there in this match, believe it or not. But there was he botched a lot of stuff. Like he went for a head scissors or baseball slide into a head scissors to Joey Ryan, and both his legs were on one side of Joey Ryan's shoulder, and he still went to complete the move. And Joey Ryan had to sell it, and it looked ridiculous. There was a moment where Joey Ryan was sitting upright on the ground, facing away from the ring. And Paul London went for a flip. I don't know if it was trying to turn him into a diamond cutter or something like that, but didn't even complete the. Well, he did a flip, and the back of their heads hit together, and that's pretty dangerous. There was a moment where he jumped to the top rope, and he was going to do a clothesline or a drop kick maybe, but he ended up just slipping off and having to just end up clubbing Joey Ryan in the back, so it didn't look ridiculous. There was a leg lariat that didn't connect, and I know it didn't connect because there was a big smack from him smacking his leg or what have you, but the crowd was just dead for it. Like they just sat there and said, you could see their faces going, that didn't hit. It's just the camera angle covered it up pretty good. So yeah, but having said that, Joey Ryan was really good in the match, and there was also more working over of the stomach in this match, so 2.5 stars for that. Next match was B-Boy, Candice, LaRae, and Scorpio Sky versus Austin Aries, Human Tornado, and Chuck Taylor. This match was pretty good. It started off with a lot of comedy stuff. LaRae and Aries worked incredibly well together because of Aries' new gimmick there. LaRae actually pulling out some stuff he stuffed his crotch with to make it look bigger, which was quite funny. There was some really good in-ring action as well, and that's not including Aries and Chuck Taylor kissing, though I'm sure a lot of the IWC would have jizzed their pants having seen that. But the match was really good, and it really makes you take note when a woman gets, takes a brainbuster or a move like that from a man. It has much greater effect than a man doing it on a man, because it's not the kind of move you expect to be seen. It's not the type of move you expect to see being done to a woman. So it got a good pop from the crowd, and I just went, whoa, that's insane. But 2 3/4 stars for that. Tyler Black versus Davey Richards. Tyler Black is a fantastic worker. There was a moment at the start where Davey kissed Black's foot and then spit in his face, and you'll see what I'm getting to when I continue talking about some other matches. Then there was working over the stomach, which is the 3rd time of the night that they've been working over the abdomen. I don't know if it was an inside joke or something. I have no clue. It was a pretty hard-hitting match. Richards won via roll-up. The match itself was good, but it didn't quite reach its potential. I felt when it ended with the roll-up, it didn't go as far as it could have. But, having said that, it was a roll-up victory, so you kind of expect maybe there'll be some more matches between the two in the future. But it was a really good match. Sonjay Dutt versus El Generico. The commentary was stealing the show. But much like the last match, Sonjay Dutt kissed El Generico's boot in this match. So that's 2 matches in a row they've had a boot kiss spot. I couldn't concentrate because of the commentary, I should add as well. Davey Richards was on commentary, and he was saying, back in my day, and he was acting like he was a wrestler from like the 50s or something. The match itself was really good and a pretty hard-hitting match. I knew it would be a good match because El Generico always puts on good matches, and Sonjay Dutt's also a very good worker. And the match ended up being a pretty good match with good back-and-forth action, so 3.5 stars for that. The main event was Chris Hero versus Colt Cabana for the PWG title. Of course, on the back, there's a typo which says Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Heavyweight Championship, Chris Hero versus Austin Aries. I knew it was Colt Cabana, though. But still, if you're going to, everything else is pretty high got pretty high production values and all fancy and all that stuff, but you get it wrong. It's like the WWE, multi-million-dollar company, keeps making typos. It drives me nuts. But as I said, Chris Hero versus Colt Cabana for the PWG title. This had very good technical wrestling to start the match off. It was really entertaining. It seemed there was chaos during the match. There was, fans doing things and kids saying something and Colt Cabana talking to the fan, and it was really fun. Then Colt started working over Chris Hero's stomach. That's the 4th time in like 8 matches the stomach's been worked over. Oh, jeez. There was a great sunset flip reversal into an air raid crash, which was really, really good. Chris Hero won with the roaring elbow, which was kind of to be seen. Fans booed, and then all of a sudden they went from booing to cheering, and I just went, what, whatever. But the match, this was another match which I didn't feel quite reached its potential. It was really good, but only 3 3/4 stars good. It was very close to 4 though, like that far off. Overall for the show, I'll give it 8 out of 10, and the thing is, there's so many good shows like this being done by indie promotions, and there's been a lot of talk from at least me about indie promotions. I don't know how you cannot watch these shows, because there really are a lot of good shows out there, and really good promotions. So do check this DVD out. It's recommended, which is an 8 out of 10. Bye.